It is the Happy Camper Radio Show, episode 221. And Happy New Year to each and every one of you. 2022. It's hard to believe it's here, Daniel.
It is.
You know, wait a minute. I guess I got to turn your microphone on. There we go. Talk to me.
Here I am.
There you are. Yeah, okay. Wow, Daniel, I haven't seen you in about a month. You must have been a pretty busy guy delivering all those packages.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I'll tell you. You know, but I tell you what, the studio, I got it all dusted and all cleaned up. I'm ready for the new year. And we got a lot of camping to do in 2022 and a lot of great shows coming your way. It is the Happy Camper Radio Show, episode 221. I'm so excited. I know you are too, Daniel.
Yep.
Let's talk about it, okay?
Okay.
And the Happy Camper Radio Show can be heard all around the world by great listeners just like yourself. You can find us in the iTunes Store and Podbean, Myra Guide, Stitcher, the BlackBerry Podcast Directory, iHeartRadio, Google Play Music, Spotify, and Daniel.
Yeah.
Now on Amazon Music.
There
the
we
Happy
go.
Camper Radio Show. Wow, where's the
First
applause?
class.
Where's the applause, Daniel? I tell you what.
Our studio audience is kind of...
Yeah, you know, we forgot to put the sign up there for everybody to applause and everything. And
They're
you know,
looking at me
we
weird.
just threw that out there, and you know, everybody just kind of stares at it. Wow, that's something. You know, I think what they were doing is they were going to their iPhone or their smartphone and trying to look up Amazon Music and to see exactly where they could find it. But hey, we're on there.
There we
We're
go.
on there, you know, and it's a great opportunity. And you can catch us online 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at www.happycamperradio.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And Daniel, you know, right before the show, I was talking about maybe showing everybody out there exactly what we do behind the scenes.
Oh, boy.
And I'll tell you what, we just might go ahead and do a video one of these episodes coming up.
Behind the curtain.
Behind the curtain, yeah. The Iron Curtain. Yeah.
There we go. The Iron Curtain. It has to be red.
I think it might be that canvas tent.
There you go. Behind the canvas tent.
That'll work very well for you. But anyway, Daniel, you know, I am really excited about being here today. And before we actually get started, we got a couple shout-outs for 2022. Yeah. Well, let's welcome Sharon Bowen Bartlett, Sheila Ann McGraw, and Jesse Skinner. They are all following us on Facebook. Thank you all so very much, each and every one of you. Glad to have you on board. And more importantly, thank you for being a part of this great Happy Camper Radio family. Daniel, I would love to get some guests on the show, and all they got to do is get in touch with me here, Skip, S-K-I-P, at happycamperradio.com. I'll get back to you, and we'll make that happen one way or the other.
Yes, sir.
Okay. But, you know, I'll tell you, Daniel, it's been kind of lonely here, and I know you've been a busy guy. I've been trying to track you down here to get you in the studio, but, you know, I know right after Thanksgiving what things are like for you. I don't get to see you until the first part of the year.
Pretty much.
So did you deliver a lot of Christmas presents?
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of camping gifts and for everybody.
Maybe, I don't know. They're all brown boxes, but yeah, I mean, it was a pretty good year. It wasn't too crazy. I mean, I was bumping up against the UPS guy and the Amazon guy and the FedEx guy. It's getting kind of crowded out there, but you know, we made it through, and we're here now and ready to get going. You know, I didn't go camping last year at all because I'm feeling, you know, kind of like a poser right now because I didn't even go camping last year. But I'm trying to plan something out for this year. We're thinking either I've never been to the Ozarks. I've always wanted to go to the Ozarks. I've always been to like Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge, and like a long time ago I went to Dollywood and all that, and they always talk about Gatlinburg, Dollywood. Oh, that's like Branson. I was like, what is Branson? What is Branson? And the last time I heard about Branson was when I worked at Stone Mountain, and actually the people that own Silver Dollar City in Branson, they bought or they leased Stone Mountain for 30 years, and actually their lease is about to come up pretty soon. But yeah, I never knew anything about it, and I found out that, you know, they're the same people that own Dollywood, and there's a bunch of stuff out there in Branson. Evidently, there's like a cave. And that got me piqued because, you know, Deidre loves the bats and everything like that. But we're thinking about maybe making a trip out there. Hopefully, I want to go camping. It's a 10-hour drive, and we might make some stops between. But we've also thought about Charleston and, you know, stuff like that. And we got to get a new state park pass, maybe try to do some camping at a state park or something. But, yeah, I definitely want to get that pop-up out and, start using it, because last year I failed.
Well, you got a time situation here, and I can appreciate that, because before I retired, I was trying to find time myself to do things.
Yeah, it's hard.
But now that I've got all this time on my hands, and I could probably get out here and probably do a little bit more camping than I really have done in the past.
Yeah.
But Daniel, one of the things that concerns me here, and we had a very bad storm night before last, and it was really bad here. It knocked the power out over in your neighborhood.
It did.
All right. And over here, it knocked the internet out for over 24 hours.
Wow.
It's a good thing, things worked out as far as a day off went today.
Yeah.
Because, here we are in the studio. If it was yesterday, it was your day off, we wouldn't be able to do too much of anything here.
Wow.
But, we have come to rely on our technology to make things like this show happen. And it's a good thing. I really enjoy being in the studio here. But, Daniel, I am a little concerned with a lot of these storms here. And one of the things I want to talk about, and I probably haven't talked about this in years, but it's securing your gear while you are camping. And I don't care if you are, out there in the wilderness all by yourself, or you're at a public campground. It is so important that you make sure that your tent, your canopy, anything that you have that you set up is attached to the ground firmly.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And I swear by these very long stakes that you can buy for about $1 a piece at your local Walmart store, and secure your gear into the ground. And I can't help but to think, Daniel, and we've read about this, and I know we've had a couple instances in this area here where people go out and they rent these, what do they call them, bounce houses for the kids?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and the folks right across the street from you are notorious for that. I mean, they're partying all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And thank heavens I wasn't over there. Thank heavens I wasn't there for New Year's.
Yeah, it was rough.
Okay. But, they've got some kids, and I mean, they're very family-oriented folks, and they're very nice and everything. But more than one occasion already, they have rented these bounce houses, and they've had the neighborhood kids, or I guess some special guests, come on over. But, I remember reading about stories where kids are in these bounce houses, and next thing you know, a big storm comes through, and it picks up the house and the kids, and it tosses them all over the place.
Wow.
And, the kids don't realize that the storm is bad, because if the parents did, they wouldn't allow their kids in there.
Yeah,
all right?
Definitely.
But, we've heard some very tragic stories about that. And the same holds true when you're camping.
Yeah.
If you don't have your gear properly secured to the ground, it could very easily happen to you.
Yeah.
You might be in your sleeping bags. Next thing you know, you're taking a roll.
That reminds me, when I was a little kid and we were in Charleston, we were right by the water in the pop-up, and it was the worst storm of my life. I still remember it to this day. But we had everything staked down and everything. And most of the stuff we put in the car, but we had everything secured to the ground, and we thought we were going in the river. I mean, my mom freaked me out. I was a little kid, and I thought we were going to be swimming with the fishes with the way she was talking. But we made it through, and it's kind of scary when you're out there in a tent or a pop-up or something, and the only thing between you and the storm is just a little piece of vinyl. So it's kind of scary sometimes.
I don't understand it, and it seems to be all tent manufacturers to this very day. When you have your tent, that whether you buy it at the store or you buy it from Amazon or eBay or wherever you get it, when you open the box, they have these small little 5-inch tent stakes and expect you to use that to secure your tent to the ground. Every time, Daniel, I get a piece of gear and I see those little stakes in there, I toss them in the trash. Because, believe me, I've been there.
And
I've seen that.
A lot of times they're plastic.
And nothing, will escape my mind other than that incident we had over at Stone Mountain Park several years ago when my brother was in town. A microburst about 3 o'clock in the morning come strolling on through there, and nobody saw it coming. The campground was packed too.
I remember that.
I don't remember if it was a Memorial Day weekend or what it was, but
I think we came over like right before or right after.
You did, and I think we did a show over there too, didn't we?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah, because it's all coming back to me here that these photographs and everything. Yeah. But, my brother and I were in the tent, and of course I had that tent staked down.
Yeah.
And the microburst hit, things went flying. People were, I woke up and I come outside and looked. The canopy that I had, which covered the picnic table, is a 10 by 10. That was not secured.
Oh, boy.
And that thing, that storm picked it up and threw it up near where the cars were. Fortunately, it didn't hit anything.
Thanks God it didn't go in the water.
But when I come out there and it woke me up and I'm looking, I see almost everybody in that campground just grabbing things and throwing them in their hatchback, throwing them in their trunk, and people getting the heck on out of there.
Yeah. Yep.
And I think maybe there was about 5 or 6 of us left in the morning when we woke up. Yeah. But it made a real mess. And I bring this up, folks, because, it doesn't matter where you are. These storms can come in there at a moment's notice.
Yep.
And I just can't say that I trust, every forecast that I read. But, when I go out, it seems to be just about every time I plan a camping trip, it's going to rain.
Yeah, you're a rain.
I am
magnet.
notorious for bringing things home, setting them up in the backyard, and letting them air dry.
Yeah,
but you don't have that problem with your pop-up camper.
we leave it up for a little while, dry it out. But we definitely keep it in the garage, and I'm really glad we do that because the last pop-up we had, we left it outside, and it kind of got disgusting and stuff. But it's really good to keep your stuff under a cover because the weather will do a number on it. Just like your truck camper over there. That's outside.
Oh, heavens, yeah, Daniel.
I know.
I've really got to
It's looking rough.
It's looking rough. I got to get it on over here so I can start refurbishing it.
Yeah.
The problem is, though, once I get that thing refurbished, I probably won't want to part with it.
Wow. That's okay. That's good.
It's a good thing, in a way, because, I can always go camping in the driveway. It's not one of the best things anybody would want to do.
Put it on the truck and hit the road.
No. Let me tell you, when I bought the truck camper, and that was, we're going back to 1998, Daniel.
Ooh.
It's going way
in
back.
The dark ages.
But that was a time that was, I don't want to say it was an impulse buy.
Yeah.
But I just happened to have my 96 F-150, which I still have out on the driveway. Still runs, too, with 300,000 miles on it. Amazing. I've been all over the place with that. But, I went up and I visited this camping place up there in Snellville. Yeah. And I just was curious to see what these truck campers were like. And for the most part, everybody that I saw that had a truck camper had them on a truck with dual wheels.
Okay.
And to this day, I couldn't afford a truck camper with dual wheels. No. Wow, yeah, it's very expensive.
Yeah, those are a penny.
And but I walked in there and I talked to the guy and he said, "What kind of truck do you have?" And I says, "Nothing that's going to work here." I says, "I've got an F-150 8-foot bed." And he goes, "Oh yeah, we can fix you up."
Yeah.
And I said, "You're kidding me. You're kidding me. You guys show me what you've got."
Yeah.
And I made a deal before I walked out of there.
Wow.
And I had that truck camper for many, many years. And it hasn't been used in quite a long time.
Thing? What did the wife and the kids say when you came home with that thing?
Well, no, believe it or not, they were there with me.
Oh,
they were there with me, and and I had to ask the boss lady. I says, we're looking at something I think was like $11,000 brand new.
Yeah.
She goes, "Well, you're the one that's got to make the payments on it."
Oh boy.
Okay, well, I'll take that as a yes of approval.
Okay.
And they actually ordered it. It came from California.
Oh,
it
wow.
had to be shipped out there. And,
brand new.
Yeah, I had got to choose the sidings and everything on it.
Wow.
But over the years, Daniel, yes, just like anything, it the weather does take a toll on it.
Yeah.
Like I said, this was from 1998.
Yeah.
I still have it to this day.
Yeah.
But I've had to make some repairs on it, and I still have to make some additional repairs.
Oh, yeah.
But,
Well, our pop-up not our pop-up, but our trailer up in the mountains where we did our show that time, it's got all kinds of leaks and everything, and thank goodness that it's under a shelter, and we couldn't use it. We'd have to get rid of it if it wasn't, because there's all kinds. it's about as old as your truck camper, and there's all kinds of leaks and stuff. But because it's under a shelter, it'll last for as long as we want it to, really. So it really helps.
Yeah, the only reason I would not take it back on the road right now, but Daniel's because I'm talking about 1998. Gas was about $1 a gallon.
Yeah, that's
all
true.
Right. And I was warned ahead of time, when you put that camper on that truck, your truck is going to be a gas guzzler. And it was. I remember, I think the furthest trip I've taken was from here to Pittsburgh when I went up to visit the family. And, it was a costly trip as far as, fuel consumption went.
Yeah.
But, hey, I did it, and I had fun with it. I don't think I could afford to put the gas in the tank today.
Yeah.
Considering, what gas prices are.
Speaking of gas, I went to Buc-ee's the other day. That's the T-shirt I got on. And you ever been to Buc-ee's, Skip?
Never.
Oh, man.
Where is it, first of all? I never heard of it.
There's one up in Ackworth, and then there's one down a little past Macon. But it's this gas station. It's like a cross between like Walmart and Bass Pro Shop. But it's a gas station. It's got about 100 pumps. Like, legitimately 100 pumps. Maybe more than 100 pumps. And it's the most crowded thing you've ever seen. It's like Black Friday every day, and they serve really good brisket and food, and they got jerky, and they got clothes, and they got the kitschy stuff, and they got all kinds of stuff. It's amazing. It started in Texas, and they've been working their way out here. And for all the people out there that know, it's a big spot for people that have campers and trailers, and they've got a spot for dogs and stuff, and they've got everything there. It's really amazing. It's an experience, I'll tell you that. But we should go up there one day and check it out, because it's really nice. I think you'd get a kick out of it.
I probably would. But hey, that's kind of neat that you discover places like that, and it's just like anybody who goes camping. When you're out and about, hey, I'm going to go over here, and next thing you know, you're venturing around, and you find a place like that, and you're just like, wow, this place is awesome.
Well, actually, next week we're going to a cabin. I don't know if I'm supposed to talk about a cabin on a camping podcast, but we're going to a cabin with a couple of friends, and on the way up there, we're going to this thing in Blue Ridge, Georgia, which is a little bit above LJ, and it's a Sasquatch museum. So that'll be interesting. That'll be a lot of fun, and we'll see what they have in store up there. Then we're gonna go to a food stand. It's like a farm, and they sell their stuff there, and it's really good food. And they got apple turnovers, and we're gonna have a good time up there, and it's gonna be all nice in the woods and quiet. I know it's in a cabin and it's not camping, but it feels good to just be out there in nature. I mean, maybe you're in a camper, maybe you're in a trailer, maybe you're in a cabin, but to be out there in nature, away from the noise, away from the crowd, away from the cars and stuff, it centers you. It gives you a peace of mind, and it helps you just calm down and not stress out as much as you do when you're in the middle of the hustle and bustle and working and all that stuff. So it's going to be fun, and I'll definitely have to report back on the trip to the Sasquatch Museum.
Well, Daniel, you and I know better than anybody that campers come from all walks of life.
Yeah.
And not everybody is a primitive camper. Not everybody is a tent camper.
Yeah.
Some people like yourself, you've got pop-ups. You have people who have travel trailers. Some people are in motorhomes.
Yeah.
And and like you say, it's easy to go out there and rent a cabin, but the fact is, you're out there.
Yeah.
You're out there enjoying nature, and that's really what it's all about.
Yeah.
So far, Daniel, we look at our lives on a daily basis and see, what we have to deal with. We've got stress. We've got politics. We've got work. You've got issues, at home. Everybody does.
Yeah.
And there comes a time where you just got to put all of that aside and just let it go for a while.
Yeah.
And get out there and enjoy.
The quiet helps so much, and just the sounds of nature and stuff. Actually, it's funny we're talking about this, because lately I've been on the Calm app, and I'll just turn on sounds of nature, and it'll be like the trees and stuff and the wind, and it just puts me right to sleep, and I just calm down. It almost feels like I'm in a pop-up or a tent myself, and it's just so relaxing. And But of course, there's nothing like the real thing, and I can't wait to get back out there. Hopefully, sometime soon.
Now, I've got some of those tapes myself, Daniel, and I've oftentimes use them to relax. But when I go to the North Georgia mountains and I go camping, I've got to park my tent by the babbling brook.
Yep.
And I don't care how loud the brook is, but it'll put you to sleep. It'll keep you asleep, and you wake up just about as refreshed as you ever have been.
When I was on the trail a couple of years ago on the Bartram Trail, I was right next to a little stream, and I'm going to try to do a little bit more of the trail this year, hopefully sometime in March or April. So that'll be another adventure I'm going to try to attempt, but hopefully I can get all this stuff done. It's just a matter of timing and time off work, and it's I'm so jealous, Skip. I wish I was retired like you.
Well, but, that's as we've talked before, Daniel. You'll get there someday. Yeah. But I had a good friend of mine tell me, and I didn't believe this at first, but he said, before you retire, get everything done you intend to do. Yeah. Because once you get retired, you're not going to have time to do it. And that's there's some truth to that. Yep. But I would love to get out more than I actually do. I spend a lot of time here in the studio, always doing something. There's always something to do around the house. Yeah, and if I'm not here in the studio, I'm video editing. I'm doing something.
You feel guilty. You want to go out in nature, but you're like, oh, I've got 3 things of clothes to do. I got this to do. I got to vacuum. I got to dust. I got to do the dishes. And it's just, ugh. Yeah. But you got to make time for it. You got to make time. You need it. You really need it, I think. Mm-hmm. So.
And it's, and I think it's really good for everybody's health.
Yeah, definitely.
But, take some time, if you're going to make any New Year's resolutions, if you haven't made them already, add a couple camping trips. Hey, I'm going to take in 5 camping trips in 2022. Whew. Yeah. And see if you can make that happen. Make a commitment. Set that time aside. Look at your calendar. See what your work schedule is. What the wife's work schedule is. Yeah. Can you fit your kids' education into that schedule? It takes some time. It takes some planning. But once you go ahead and make that commitment and put that date on the calendar, you definitely want to stick with it.
Definitely.
Yeah. Because, I remember back in the days when, the kids were growing up and Mom wasn't a big camper, but she went out there with us. Yeah. And, hey, we had fun. Yeah. And once the kids see exactly what Dad is into, they're really into that. Because I remember, taking some camping trips with just the kids while Mom stayed home. Oh. Yeah.
All right.
But, that's one of the things I was very blessed with, rest her soul in heaven right now. But she never interfered with my desire to go out there and do some camping.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
All right.
So, that's what we can look forward to in 2022. And in fact, Daniel, I want to point out that I had an opportunity to go to Hiawassee here back in November. And of course, something came up and I didn't make the trip up there. Right. But I talked to the folks. They had a wonderful time.
That's good.
And I'm just going to have to go up there again one time by myself, even if it's just for a day trip.
Yeah.
Just to go up there to breathe that North Georgia mountain air.
There you go.
Yeah. Maybe take the drone up there and shoot some drone video.
There we go.
Yeah. And incidentally, folks, speaking of drones, I've got one of those. I don't want to call it a toy because I got one of the high-end models.
Oh, yeah. First class.
Spend a little bit of money on that. If you're going to fly drones, a lot of people fly them just for hobby. There's some people who do it as a profession. Yep. But, first of all, if you're gonna be out there with your kids and your kid has a drone, make sure that if you're at a public or private campground that you get permission to fly that drone, because people will freak out. People see that flying over top of their trailer, they fly it over top of their tent, and next thing you know, people are really chaotic about that. Yeah. And I've seen it firsthand.
Yeah, I could imagine.
Yeah, but it's you get some great video, especially if you're in the mountains somewhere or you're at a vacation site. Where you have the opportunity to go ahead and fly a drone without making people upset. Definitely go ahead and do that. But like I says, use a little common sense when you're out there, folks, and especially if you're using a drone and your kids are out there flying it too. because they may not know some of the things that you know.
Yeah.
Like you need to get permission. They figure, well, I can just go ahead and fly it. Nobody's going to give me any problems. Of course they will. Yeah. But I'm going to go ahead and definitely, because I always take my video camera with me everywhere I go, and I'll probably go ahead and shoot some drone video up in the North Georgia mountains, maybe post it on the website, when you get an opportunity. But that's something I'm going to look forward to, for in 2022, like yourself, Daniel. Get yourself an opportunity to set aside some camping dates. Let me know what you're doing, too.
I'll let you know. I'll keep you posted.
Yeah, I know you and your wife like to be alone and everything, but so maybe sometime, we can go ahead and plan like we did the trip not too far away from here and get up there and relax a little bit. Yeah,
I've been looking around. I've seen another state park that's not too far that I'd like to go to. Want to get all those pins. We collect pins from each state park, and now they actually have a thing where you they have a scratch off thing now where every time you go to a state park you get to scratch off where you've been, and I want to get one of those, and that's going to be really cool. And I just like seeing different sites and everything. And people probably don't, if they're not from Georgia or whatever, we got almost everything. We got beaches, we got mountains, we got plains, we got everything. We got hills. So I mean, if you're out west, you might not think that we have mountains, but hey, what can you do?
Yeah, I hear you. Well, let's make that happen in 2022. It's time now for our featured campground of the week here on the Happy Camper Radio Show. Daniel, let's go out to the state of Arizona.
Ooh.
To the Tonto National Forest. Here's a great campground out there. It's the Christopher Creek Campground. And now if you like camping in high elevations, the Christopher Creek Campground is 5,640 feet above mean sea level. Wow, and I'll tell you, I've been out there before, Daniel. I was out there in Phoenix.
You'd be hard pressed.
You're up there in the elevations there, and it's
you don't realize it. It's weird.
You're gonna be breathing a little bit different. But anyway,
weird.
this is a great campground. It's a family friendly campground. In fact, has 43 sites on both sides of the creek. There's actually a Christopher Creek.
All right.
Okay, plus a group site that accommodates a maximum of 25 people. There's 37 campsites available, and they're reservable. 3 campsites are available on a first-come, first-served basis. That's why I encourage anybody, folks, if you're going to be camping at any of these recreation.gov campgrounds, it's always beneficial to go ahead and sign up for one of their free accounts.
Yep.
It's very simple to do, and you can log into the website anytime. The campgrounds are all over the place. Some of them are shut down during the off season, but there's some of them, that are run, 24/7, 365 days a week. Okay, but they have a camp host out there. The Christopher Creek provides a creek dwelling on the Tonto National Forest at the base of the Mogollon Rim. They were surrounded by ponderosa pines, junipers, oaks, and evergreen shrubs. Evergreen shrubs. Get that right. Okay, you want to do some horseback ride or some mountain biking out there, you can do that too. Take a dip in one of the facility's 3 swimming holes just to cool off in the summer sun. Or if you're into wintertime, if that's your thing, visit the snowy months and take advantage of the miles of cross-country skiing that's available. Each spring, the creek is stocked with rainbow trout. Anglers can take their opportunity to cast their hearts out for rainbows, brook, and brown trout. Take a look at some of the activities and amenities right there on their website. We're going to have that all week long on the Happy Camper Radio website at happycamperradio.com. You can check it out there. And also make sure before you do anything, before you ever make a reservation on any one of these sites, be sure to look at the need to know before you go. And there's plenty of things there too. Also remember, don't move firewood. Prevent the spread of tree-killing pests by obtaining firewood near your destination and burning it on site. For more information, visit don'tmovefirewood.org. I'm not going to be going to Arizona anytime soon, Daniel, but I'll tell you, if I happen to be out there with my tent, I will consider the Christopher Creek Campground.
There you go.
It is our featured campground of the week here on the Happy Camper Radio Show.
Daniel Pitts.
Yeah. Gonna throw one at you, Daniel.
All right.
Yeah, his eyes just light up when that comes up. You know,
I feel like a star.
you are in
Yeah,
some ways. And
I guess.
that's exactly what your wife says. You remember, friends, if you have a campground you'd like for us to feature on the program, get in touch with me, Skip, S-K-I-P, at happycamperradio.com. Be sure to include a link to the campground website. And that's going to wrap up this edition of the Happy Camper Radio Show. Daniel, so glad to see you again.
Yeah.
And I'll
Good
tell
to
you,
do a show finally.
yeah, really. You know, and I just dread when Thanksgiving comes up next year. Maybe we just ought to do a bunch of shows and we can toss them in there because
totally.
I can't track you down for anything.
That's hard after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, remember, friends, every pet deserves a loving home. I want you to do exactly like I did. Visit your local shelter and adopt a pet today. You can find us on the web 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at www.happycamperradio.com. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter at Camp Talker, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. The Happy Camper Radio Show is a presentation of Skip Huber Productions. I'm Skip. I am a happy camper. So is Daniel. Woohoo! And you better believe it, folks. We're going to make a happy camper out of you. Talk to you again real soon. You're listening to Happy Camper Radio.